Hey everyone, Rachel Britton here. I wanted to jump on today. Happy Saturday. This morning I had this amazing opportunity to listen to my coach talk about her journey and how she became a coach and why she started her health journey. And she has this amazing story, and it really got me thinking about like what has inspired me and what got in my way. And I know that so many of you out there are working on something for yourself right now, and you're working on something that you want to feel inspired on, or you feel lost. And I just wanted to kind of take a little time with you guys today to really to help you start to think about like what's getting in your way. Like, what are those barriers? What do you need to do to take that next step? Because I think so often in our life, we can start like looking at outside of us, like, well, all of these things are happening to us. And really at the end of the day, it comes back to us and how we move forward with it. And so one thing I want you to do right now, if you have a piece of paper by you or like a scratch piece of paper, or my favorite, I love napkins. I always grab napkins for some reason. But I want you just to take a moment to start writing down, what do you want? Like, really, what do you want? What is important to you? What motivates you, or what are you trying to get in your life? I know for me, one big thing was that I wanted to be happy, and I had no idea what happy was, but I knew I wanted it. I knew I wanted to be able to feel joy. I knew I wanted to feel stable, feel successful. I had no idea what that was for me, like as I was starting my journey, right? But I think within our journey, within what we're working on, we find that. So the first step is writing down what you actually want. Like, what is it that you're looking for? What is it that you want in your life? And then once you write that down, even if you're doing the replay of this, pause it, take a moment to write that down. Like, take this time out of your day to really focus on you. Okay. So after you write that down, the next thing I want you to write down is, what are your excuses? What are your barriers? Whether it's a barrier that you've created for yourself or that someone else has done that has impacted you, or whether it's an environmental thing or whatever it is, what is your barrier? Okay. I'll tell you, I had a lot of barriers. A lot of my barriers are right here though. It was a lot about me and not believing in myself. A lot of my barriers were time. I don't have enough time for this. A lot of my barriers were, I can't do that. I'm not financially like stable enough to do something like that. Or I want to do that, but I don't have the finances for it. I had other barriers of, I'm not smart enough to do that. I can't do that. I mean, like, that is for other people to do. Me? What? I can't do that. Or I'll never amount to that. There's no way I can achieve that goal. I mean, I had all of those excuses, all of those barriers that were coming from here, and it really got in my way of starting. And here's the thing, you don't know until you start, right? You don't know what you can achieve in your life. You don't know what your life is going to look like until you start. Okay, so those barriers, write them down, because those are what you need to start focusing on. Once you get through those, your why, or what you want in your life, is going to come a lot sooner than you think it is going to. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time, but you are going to get closer and closer and closer if you start conquering those barriers and hitting them head on, instead of taking them as they are and thinking that they're true, because they don't have to be true. Okay, so when I was a manager back in my college days, I had this decision of like, what do I do? I was managing, or I was learning how to be a manager at a business. I had graduated for school in psychology, and I was like at this standstill. I was like, what path do I take? I had made some choices that like weren't the best choices, and it got in the way of some of my managing aspects. And at that point, I had this opportunity to apply to grad school. But you know what went through my head? I can't do that. There's no way. I have to take an exam before I go to grad school. I suck at exams. I'm horrible at them. There's no way I'm going to pass it. There's no way that they're going to take me on in grad school. Like, I had all of those thoughts. And my manager at the time, I sat down with him and he was like, Rachel, this job will be here. You know, you might not come back in the manager position, but I'll always have this job for you. And I was very blessed to have that. But in that moment, I had to make that decision, right? And again, you don't know what's going to happen if you don't start, right? So had I not just made that choice of, okay, I'm going to go with it. I don't know if I'm smart enough. I don't know if I can get through this. I don't know if I can do grad school. I am really bad at papers, but I'm great at like conceptualizing things, just horrible at writing. I had to let all of that go, because had I not, I wouldn't have gone to grad school. And I was very blessed to have that opportunity. And in grad school, I've shared already, I had enough barriers there that I could have stopped at any time. But I had to just say, you know what? I got to keep going. And then, like, even when I became a therapist, right? I have had so many thoughts, so many different moments in my life where I was like, I can't do this, I can't do that. There's no way that that this person would want to work with me, whatever it was. But you don't know until you start, right? You don't know until you take that next step. I can tell you on multiple fingers, probably my toes too, how many times someone has asked me in the past, are you going to start your own private practice? Is that your long-term goal? And I said, no, I am good. I am good at the place I'm at. I am good, like, having them do all the business side of it. I am good just going in, being a therapist, leaving. What? And here I am, you know, like, it was in one moment talking to a friend that I was like, I don't know, maybe I could run a business. Maybe I could do this. And that got me going into owning my own private practice, right? So until you start, you don't know, right? So why continue to let all of those barriers and all of those excuses, mine were excuses, but all of those barriers, why continue to let them get in your way? Find a way to work through those. That's where it's at, right? Because once I worked through that barrier of I can't be a business owner, it helped me. And once I did that, I became a health coach on top of it, and I do business in that way too. And I, there's so many things within being a health coach too. Like I can't coach somebody else. I don't know enough about nutrition. Well, the only way I'm going to learn is to help other people and start coaching, right? I can't coach other people. I'm on my own health journey. What better way than to learn by teaching, right? But I wouldn't have known that had I not just gone for it. So write it down. That is what I want you to do after this. If you haven't already started, write down what you want, like what you actually want. Right? Going back to what I wanted, feeling happy and feeling stable. I had no idea happiness was going to be owning my own private practice and becoming a health coach and becoming a mom. No idea. I mean, I had ideas of what I wanted to do, but I had no idea that that's what it was going to be. But I didn't know because I had to take those first steps first to kind of figure out who I was. I had to make a lot of errors, a lot of mistakes. Right? To figure out what I actually wanted. And if I would have sat there and just worried or let those fears get in my way, I would have never gotten to where I am today. Right? And I still have obstacles. I still have barriers. Right? If you think I'm perfect, I will laugh at that. Because I'm not, I am a constant person of growth. And that is my stability. My stability is knowing that I am always growing. Right? So for me, I learned that I was stable because I take what comes and I do what I can to make the best of it. Right? And that is working through your barrier, because what you start, you don't know. Okay? So write those things down, figure out what those barriers are, and start focusing on how you're going to conquer those barriers, because you can do it. You can, and it might not be exactly what you thought it was going to be in the long run, but who knows? I never thought I was going to be a health coach. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I was going to be a health coach. And that brings so much passion in my life. Never did I think I would get on Facebook Lives, but here I am, right? So you don't know until you start, okay? So start.